you looking to retire early or at least get some financial freedom, a little extra cushion? Well, we probably have the solution for you. It's not a side hustle that takes a lot of time. This is called passive investing, and it's commercial real estate. We'll show you how to do it. It's not like it used to be, it's way easier. We have decades of experience in the business, and so we will show you how to do it. This is Pivot to Prosperity, sponsored by Pivotal Real Estate Investments. And go to the website, pivotalrealestateinvestments.com, if you want to know when we have an opportunity. Thank you. Hi, this is Jenny Bowling with Pivotal Real Estate Investments, and I will be here talking with TJ Visiodei. And I would like very much to give him an opportunity to introduce himself to you because he has quite the background. TJ, go ahead.
Hey there, how are you? I'm the, first off, thank you so much for having me on. By the way, a little bit about my background. I'm the owner of privatepracticeprofits.com. I'm the author of the book, Wealthy Doctor Secrets, the fastest way to build wealth on a doctor's salary, period. And I help doctors cut their retirement plans from 30 years down to 3 years by earning more in their everyday salary, by investing 10 times more than they usually would, and earning 3 times higher returns than what their financial advisor would usually give them. Now, when it comes to the topic of investing, the primary asset that I help doctors invest in is actually my real estate company, which is actually the third branch of everything I do. And that company is called Axe Decentralized Real Estate. So Ginny actually invited me on to be able to talk a little bit more about Axe and how it works as an investment fund and how it's related to the real estate world in general.
Right, yes. And we are both members of a mastermind that has a lot of people that are doing all different kinds of things, but you're the only one doing this particular business model. So explain that, would you?
Yeah. So, before I even go too deep into Axe, I kind of just want to set the ground because what we do is so different that I think people need to almost like step away from the regular thought of like stock investing or cryptocurrencies, all these other distractions before they can really open up their mind. Because I think a lot of people, when they think about investing, they almost think of it as almost gambling in a sense. Like they almost think of it as like, I'm just putting my money in and I'm just hoping that something comes out of it. So as I talk to you about Axe, what I want to really present to you, if you're an investor or if you're listening to Jenny or you're just looking to real estate in general, what I'd like to present to you is that this is an example out of many of a real estate play, a real estate opportunity where things go from investing in hope to investing in an actual process. So I actually wanted to show you the process from the investor side of how we are building up this new real estate asset in a completely different market, alternative to anything you've ever heard of, and how we are creating huge opportunities for our investors to build wealth for their families, and more important than the wealth, actually build a legacy for their families, a legacy for what is possible, what can be done to create sustainability and create abundance for everybody around them.
Terrific. Yes. And go ahead and step us right through.
Yeah. So the idea behind Axe Decentralized Real Estate is very, very simple. What would it take to take a city slicker family that might be a professional family, the father, the household combined, they're making a little bit more than 6 figures. They might work remotely. What if that family is thinking to themselves every single day, man, what if I could just get away from society? What if I could just get away from the everyday hubbub of the city? What if I could have my own land, I could have my own house, I could grow my own food, and I could have my own community? What would it take to actually do that? Well, Axe Decentralized Real Estate is the answer for what it actually takes. What we do is we build off-grid homesteads for libertarian homeschooling families that, generally speaking, tend to have Christian values. Now, you might ask, well, that's such a niche topic. No, it's not. No, it's not. That is literally 50% of the nation. I'm actually sick and tired of hearing people say that's not that many people. That is a lot of people throughout the United States of America. There are a lot of people who feel that their everyday lifestyle in a suburban home isn't enough. There are people who every single day feel in their heart of hearts what they need to do to establish legacy for their family is move their family to a place where it's land that they cultivate on their own, with animals that they raise on their own, with food that they grew on their own, with a community of people that they actually know, like, and trust. So, what we do with Axis Centralized Real Estate is we gather investors and we purchase huge plots of land that no one could be able to buy on their own. Plots of land that at the minimum are $5 million, but we look at 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, $50 million plots of land that might be 500 acres at the minimum, but we're looking at 1,000 acres, 2,000 acres, 3,000 acres plus. And we take that land, we subdivide it, we create platting lines through just maps and government approvals. We create little platting lines and make it so that these lands that were once 2,000-acre properties are turned into 100, 200, 10-acre properties for these families. From there, we partner with construction experts, solar experts, well digging experts, farming experts, and we provide these families with every single thing that they would need as one package to move from being a city slicker to having your own off-grid homestead with everything you could possibly want. So these families are getting 10 acres of land. They're getting a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom custom home. They're getting a custom solar panel installed. They're getting their wells installed. They're getting a septic tank. They're getting a walk-in cooler. We throw in an A-frame cabin that they can actually use to rent out to other families and actually pay off their mortgage. We build all of the fencing for them for their choice of cattle, chickens, goats, or horses. We help them purchase those livestock, and we bring in world-class experts to teach them how to actually use their farm in a sustainable manner. Now, these packages aren't cheap. We sell them for over $1 million each. So we're talking about buying something that might be $5 million, might have 500 acres on it that we can turn into 50 different properties. And we're going to sell each of those properties for $1 million or more. And we have a proven process on how to do that. And again, where does real estate investing come into that? We gather up investors to help do that. So that's the overall idea behind Axis Centralized Real Estate. Now we can dig a little bit more into the details.
Okay. And have you sold, and well, how many have you sold?
Axis is just starting.
It's just starting. Oh, okay.
Axis brand new and it's just starting. Yeah.
Gotcha.
We have a model that has already been used. So one of my partners, for example, with a very similar business model, it says their model, still they buy huge plots of land. However, they still have to connect fully to the grid, right? So in their model, they still have to put sewage pipes. In their model, they have to put electricity lines. In their model, they have to put in asphalt roads. We don't have to do that. So we clear out that overhead. But in that model, they have gathered $250 million of investor capital, bought $750 million worth of land, and turned it into $3.5 billion of revenue for their company. So
That's
we
impressive.
have the same business model. It's proven. It's actually the fastest and best returning business model when it comes to real estate in the entire country of the United States of America. And we have less overhead than that. And we have the actual land developer. We have the actual leader of that helping us out.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And where are you looking to place the farms?
So we are starting out here in Texas. Right now, as I speak, I'm in Magnolia, Texas, a little bit north of the Woodlands, a little bit north of Houston.
Yeah.
And if you actually go to Google Maps right now, so anybody listening to this, just go to Google Maps. You can look at it, and East Texas is actually gorgeous. Everybody thinks of Texas as desert. That is West Texas, okay? East Texas is gorgeous. It's filled with rivers. It's very green, very, very lush. So we look at properties along the highway between Dallas and Houston, around 45 minutes to 90 minutes outside of any one of those metropolitan areas. That way people can still go to the grocery store if they want to. They can still go dining if they want to, but they are far enough away where they can truly have their land, truly have their space, truly have their freedom.
That sounds very cool. I'll be watching and following you along on that, definitely.
Thank you.
So, and then going to your stepping into the investor role, how long ago was that you started actually investing in real estate?
So I started out working on actually centralized real estate a year and 8 months ago after my daughter was born.
Uh-huh.
Um, for me personally, the story is that my daughter was actually born during the worst winter storm in Texas history. And so up to that point, I'd always had dreams of living off grid. I always had it as an idea, but it wasn't really a reality. But when that storm hit and my daughter was less than 24 hours old and I had no electricity, no water, no food prepared, and I had to do everything necessary for my family to literally have heat and have food and have water, I realized, oh my gosh, I need to start taking this seriously. So, using my skills in marketing, my background in competitive analysis, I started looking into what's going on with the off grid market. And that's when I realized there's nobody who is truly dominating in this market. There's nobody who's really gone after it. I like to call it, there's nobody that's the Apple of off grid, right? There's people who make attempts, they talk a lot, but they don't actually include the aspect of how you properly create a real estate investment fund. They don't include the mindset of how do you actually do market research? How do you actually partner with people? How do you actually do the construction? And then from there, I was smart enough to have partners that are way more experienced than me. People like Al Trellis, who is the president of the Home Builders Network and who's responsible for coaching companies that build over $1.2 billion in housing every single year, and getting other people involved as well, like one of my other partners that I just mentioned, right? So it's been that process of I have the marketing background, I have the research background, but let me gather up A plus players to help me through this whole process. So that's been about a year and a half.
And has it been easy to explain the business concept to the doctors? They're your primary audience, right? The
Yeah,
doctors.
my primary audience is doctors because I make them so much money they have no idea what to do
Right. Yeah.
with. That literally that's why. So it's actually pretty easy in terms of like, look, why would you stick your money into the S&P 500 with a financial advisor who's giving you, 8%, wasting your time, wasting your energy, sitting there hoping, praying, you have no control over it, versus going with not only a safe bet, okay, an actual proven model that works, that is consistently able to get returns that you've never even thought of, you've never even dreamed of. Okay, especially if you follow along with my book with Wealthy Doctor Secrets and you pay attention to the secrets I give in the book, where, as a doctor, let's say you're making $250,000 a year, how do you take $50,000 out of that $250,000 a year salary, turn it into $100,000 for investing, and be able to have that $100,000 invested for you with leverage, with construction experts, so you don't have to do anything and you're getting returns that just, again, are unmatchable compared to anything you might find out there, even cryptocurrencies. Okay, I hear a lot of people, what about the cryptocurrencies? It's like, this is even stronger than cryptocurrencies and it's actually safer. That's the best thing about real estate. There are plays like that. That's what this world allows for.
Well, part of what I try to emphasize to people is that real estate is the not only the oldest and hardest,
Mm-hmm.
you can knock on it, stand on it, everything's built on it, asset of all kinds,
Mm-hmm.
of all time. It's overlooked because we're so used to taking it for granted, really.
For real,
Um,
people are, and that's why I call the book "Wealthy Doctor Secrets," because it's like, hey, if you could just figure out these secrets that, by the way, most people who are able to invest in, who are accredited investors, like they're competent enough, right? That's why they're accredited investors. They're competent enough to be able to figure this stuff out. You just have to you just have to have someone tell you, like somebody has to tell you, hey, 90% of all millionaires are created through real estate. That's pretty crazy. Why would you be focusing on the 10% when 90% are created through the real estate? Tony Robbins likes to say, you want to be successful? Model the behaviors of people who are successful. Well, I'm telling you, 90% of the world's millionaires are created through real estate. So who should you probably model?
yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Well, that's exciting. And So as far as the future, where are you heading, and what are your projects you're working on right now? Is it development of that, or identify?
Yeah, so right now we're getting the book out there. It's a very simple system. Getting the book out there, changing doctors' lives when they read this book, and over the course of the next year of just marketing the book out there. From there, we're going to actually do our first capital call, our first actual real official capital raise. We've already had some doctors read the book. Um, it's funny. I've had doctors multiple times. They read the book. They get halfway through. They're so excited. They start calling me, wanting to invest. I tell them, hey, finish the whole thing for real. Just finish the whole thing before talking to me, because I truly packed it in there. It's a textbook on the actual literal. This is not marketing. It is literally the fastest way to build wealth on a doctor's salary or doctor's salary equivalent. Okay, you can get it at wealthydoctorsecrets.com. And I say, yes, read this book. Once you do that, now we can have the conversation about investing. Now we can have the conversation about what we're actually doing.
That's great. That's really got to be very satisfying that they're calling you before they finish too.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
Well, very good. Well, I wanted to keep this short, so I appreciate you taking the time to come on and explaining what you're doing. And it's going to be very interesting to follow along with how that progresses too. And
Thank you.
I'm a country girl. I don't know if I told you that. So I love horses, and really am wanting to do what do they call it, where you go do a roundup kind of a thing,
Gotcha. Yeah.
like City Slickers, the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
even ride Western, but I can, because I write English. But yeah,
Yeah.
so have some fun stuff out there too.
I read Western myself.
Yeah, I figure most people do. I mean, we're kind of a smaller group that write English, but
Gotcha.
anyway. So anything else you'd like to add? How to get in touch with you? Tell everybody how
Yeah,
to get in
so
touch.
the easiest way to get in touch with me is to just go to wealthydoctorsecrets.com. You can right now go and you can purchase the book for as low as a McDonald's Happy Meal. Okay, so for $4.99, you can get Wealthy Doctor Secrets delivered directly to your email. Plus, you get the audiobook version of Wealthy Doctor Secrets. Okay, so again, I actually literally wrote the book with my father in mind. My father, um, completely financially illiterate as a doctor, completely. Okay, he does not know anything, and so I actually translated a lot of the same conversations I had with him into book format over what would I show someone who's 60 years old plus that hasn't got into investing as much as they'd like to, maybe because they're confused or they're scared or no one's really shown them the right things. For example, my father, he had no father. So, what do you do to show someone that in a very easy to understand language? And that's what I did in that book. So again, wealthydoctorsecrets.com. You can purchase the book plus the audiobook for $4.99. I also have a full 50 video online course that you can get as well at wealthydoctorsecrets.com.
Great. Well, very good. Well, thank you, TJ.
Thank
Wishing
you.
you all the best as well.
You too. You
You
too.
take care. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for listening. And remember, if you want to know when opportunities come available, register at pivotalrealestateinvestments.com on the Contact Us page. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram. If you like what we're saying, share, all that good stuff. And feel free to let us know if you want us to cover a certain topic. Thank you.